going to do a super fast tutorial. I'm going to try to make it super fast, showing multicam editing using DaVinci Resolve. It's super cool and very powerful. So let's jump right in. I'm looking at DaVinci Resolve down here. I'm creating a new project and we call it multicam Madame Donuts, because that's the footage I'm working with. And while that's loading, I just want to take a quick peek at these two videos here. They've got great names. I can clearly see that one of them is called Sync A and the other one's Sync B. So these two videos were shot at the exact same time from two separate cameras. Both cameras had their audio being recorded, and that's going to be really important here in a second. So I'm going to just drag this into DaVinci. I don't want to change, don't change the project frame rate. I should have done this all first. Let me check my project settings. Here, I want to make this 30 FPS. So hopefully it'll let me do that now. Hit save. You can't change this action. Luckily I don't have any timelines yet, so that's good. Whew. All right, so I've got my two pieces of footage in, my two clips, and all I need to do is highlight the two. You can click on the first one, hold down Shift and click on the second, or click and drag a box like so. So you select the two, and all I got to do is right click and create timeline using selected clip. Where did it go? Well, if we can't find it there, let's try to solve this. I'm going to go over to the edit page. I know it works here, or it used to. So I'm going to right click on those two and see, hopefully at the top here, it's going to say, there, weird. Wouldn't let me do it in the other bin. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, but in the actual edit page itself, where we're doing the ingestion, we're allowed to do a new multicam clip using selected clips. Cool. And now we're going to get some options that pop up. Let's give this a good name. So I'm going to call this my multicam clip. Now you could load 2 cameras or 5 cameras or 10 cameras, as long as there's something for the software to sync up all the clips with. And we're not going to use the in points, we're going to use the sound. So it's going to analyze the wave on each one of the videos, and then it's going to, hopefully do its job and synchronize them. There's other settings in here we don't have to really worry about. Sequential just means it's going to call it literally cam 1 or cam 2. I think the language is something else, like, we'll see here in a second. We'll hit create. And it drops the original clips into a new bin, which is nice, a new folder. And then we get this new fresh multicam clip here. Yeah, and that's the angle that it calls it. Sorry, that's what they call it. It's angles. And this is, we can switch between the two now, which is awesome. So with this clip, and this is a powerful way to just quickly make a new timeline with something that you have. This could be footage or audio. It could be a multicam clip. We can just right click on it, and we can just say create a new timeline using the selected clip. And this is going to be my master output. This is what I'm going to eventually export to the world. So this is something I can call Madame Donuts multicam. Multicam, like multipass. And hit create. It's all good. And that should give us a new timeline down here. So we got a timeline, we got our multicam clip, and I can double click on that and load it up into my editor. So I'm going to head on over there, and there is my Madame Donuts multicam. That's the actual timeline that has this multicam clip on it already down here, and there's the original clips inside that bin, so I can still access all this stuff. Cool. Now if I shut down, I gotta shut down my inspector. If my inspector is open, I'm not going to be able to see the left monitor here, and when I see that, I can now turn on the multicam option, which is awesome, and it shows you the two. Now the first few frames of camera 2 doesn't have any information, doesn't have any video, so we're going to see some black frames here. And literally I just have to tap the one or the 2 key, the 1 key on my keyboard and the 2 key to switch between cameras. If I had 5 cameras, I could press cameras 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could press all those different buttons and switch between them, but I only have 2 instances of video in this multicam clip. So I press play. I have to get the timeline moving. So I'm just going to hit play on the master clip up here, or the space bar. I'm more prone to using the space bar. And then I literally can just toggle between the 2 cameras by pressing the 1 and 2 key. Now, rhythm is everything in editing. So you don't just want to do this willy-nilly. You want to pick appropriate moments to do your editing. So usually when an actor finishes their sentence or they've left a pause, multicam is really good for getting rid of ums and ahs. Now, maybe I'll try to find a moment in this video where that happens. All right, so all you have to do is press spacebar or play, and then start toggling between the 2 videos. Now, I don't have my speakers turned on right now. If I really wanted to make this tutorial and work with the audio at the same time, I would have to wear some headphones, but let's give this a shot here. I'm going to turn on my system settings. Since I plugged in my external lavalier mic, I do not have output to my MacBook Pro speakers, and hopefully I'm not monitoring in OBS, so that should work great. Awesome, cool. I'm not hearing any feedback. That's good. But now when I press play, I should hear some stuff. Let me tweak my volume a little bit so it doesn't come out too loud, and see if we hear anything. Not hearing anything. Why is that? DaVinci Resolve has its own preferences. So since I started it after my external mic was plugged in, I think my video and audio I/O is set up wrong. So I need to check out what my output is. What is my I/O engine? That's good. What do I want on my output? It's not external headphones. It's going to be my MacBook Pro speakers. Nice. Save. Nice. Okay, I should be able to hear stuff now.
It's not your ordinary donut.
All right, give this a little bit more volume so I can hear it. And what I was trying to say, you're trying to cut these rhythmic moments. So for example, somebody is halfway through a sentence and you got to pick these moments. So you don't want to cut words in half. It seems weird. So wait until they finish a sentence, cut. Then they start a new sentence, cut. Maybe it's a moment where they pause dramatically. That's a good spot to cut. So you got to really listen while you're doing multicam. So I'm going to press play and just use my number pad. Sorry, not my number pad. It's actually the numbers above my keypad. So I'm using the 1 and 2 above my Q key. That's important to point out. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm going to press play and then try to just toggle between the 2 and see how DaVinci behaves.
It's not your ordinary donut. Even fitness fanatics who say they don't like donuts, they come here often enough that I'm starting to think that they lie to me. They think they really love donuts, but then they say, no, your donuts are different. It's not just your treat. It's not a sugary treat. In fact, they're not very, very sweet. They're always very well balanced in flavor. We create our donuts as if.
So you'll notice down here on the timeline, every time I press the 1 and 2 key, it created a cut. Now I'm going to use the blade tool here to do some refined editing. So she does have a moment. Let me double check.
Always very well balanced in flavor.
Always
very well balanced in flavor.
That would be a good place to cut. She recomposes herself. You can see she's trying to figure out what her next comment is going to be. So I'm going to cut it there. And then she says, we create. So I'm going to cut out that awkward moment there. You got to get in there really close. You got to move frame by frame, and the arrow keys can be your friend. So right about there, I'm going to do the cut. I've got my blade tool. I have snapping turned on, and that will snap the cut to the red bar. And now I can, my playhead I should say, my red bar, I'm gonna grab my selection tool. I'm gonna delete this weird, awkward moment in here where she kind of looks around funny. So let me get rid of that. I'm gonna delete it. Now I have some choices to make. I could grab this and slip it back. Keep in mind, I've got my linking turned on so that my audio and video will move at the same time. So let me see here. How are things looking? Let's just check.
Always very well balanced in flavor.
So I did a switch from one camera to the next,
Balance in flavor.
but I'd like for it to stay on the camera here for a little bit longer. So I wonder if this cam switch, I can delete it and then I can expose this camera longer.
Always very well balanced in flavor. Always very well balanced in flavor.
Always well balanced in flavor.
Very well balanced in flavor.
Snap that down. Now remember, linking's turned on, so when I do this, I right click and hit ripple delete. I've just deleted that awkward moment and I'm switching to the next camera. Let's see it. Command F, Control F for full screen. See it again.
Very, very sweet though. Always very well balanced in flavor. We create our
Awesome. That's nice and smooth. It's clear. It seems natural. And we got rid of an awkward moment where she's saying
donor.
Escape to get out of full screen. That's just Control F if you want to see something in full screen, or Command F on a Mac. And we just carry on.
If they're a composed plate, you know, where you have your starch, your protein, and maybe your side dish.
I accidentally pressed 2, which is the camera that it's currently on, and it did make an edit. So I'm going to hit Command Z and undo that because I want to switch to cam 1.
Your side dish. It is
Perfect moment there where she says, I think I accidentally grabbed it perfectly. Yeah, I did.
dish. It isn't.
So let me undo that and I'll see how we get rid of that.
Your side dish.
Okay, so we're currently on angle 2. I can see that here, and I want to go back to angle 1. I'm going to tell it to go to 1 here, and then I'm going to tap the 1 key here just to do another edit and keep it on cam 1. Kind of a sneaky trick.
It isn't.
So I've captured the but it's cut off a little bit more of the language here. So I'm just going to be sloppy with this. I'm going to delete what I cut. I just tapped 1 twice to go back to the first camera. So I'll try that again.
Maybe your side dish.
1, 1.
It isn't.
Why? Because I wanted to go from 2 to 1. And then I just tapped 1 again to just cut quickly and stay on cam 1. So that's the You can see it right there. All right. So press delete. See what happens if I just do a ripple delete between those two. Remember, my linking is turned on. Ripple delete. So I switched from 2 to 1. Let's see.
Your side dish. It isn't complete until
Now there is something we could get really granular with.
dish. It is.
She starts to do an inhale. Right? That's interesting. She's inhaling to go to the So, what can we do to fix that? Well, we've got audio here. I'm going to switch over to my mouse because this is going to take some accuracy, and I can create a keyframe here. Hold down Command, Control, Option. How do I grab that? There it is. I got to be right on top of the volume slider. Option, click, created a keyframe, and then I'm going to grab this volume here and I'm going to drag it. Oops, I can't do that without a second keyframe, so I need a keyframe right beside it. Okay, this is advanced stuff. Don't worry if you have to. This is, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to drag this volume all the way down. Slide it back as close as I can. So I'm dipping out. Whoop. Be careful not to overwrite the other key. So I'm just dipping out the inhale. Fancy.
It isn't. It isn't. It isn't.
And it's these little details that are barely noticeable in the final cut, but they're nice to solve for. Let's see it in full screen.
You have your starch, your protein, and maybe your side dish. It isn't complete until you.
Perfecto. I'll leave it at that. You don't have to worry about those really high-end. They're not really high-end. There's the tweaks we can do to audio to get rid of hisses and haws and pops and weird noises when we're doing a jump cut. That's just a way to do it. Anyway, my friends, that's going to be the end of the tutorial because I do want to keep it short. Happy editing. Have a wonderful time. I will see you in the future.